And Democratic State Representative Amy Roeder of Bangor has launched her campaign for Maine Senate District 9. Her announcement comes just a day after Joe Baldacci, who currently holds the seat, launched his official bid to represent Maine at a federal level in Congressional District 2. Currently in her third term in the House, she serves as chair of the Labor Committee. Roeder also lives in Bangor's Little City neighborhood and is the adoptive mother of two sons. The seat serves the city of Bangor as well as the town of Hermit.